We're going to be talking about sequences. Find the next number in the sequence. What are they? List of numbers or a pattern of numbers or shapes that have a rule. Why? To help with understanding abstract concepts and logic skills. Interesting fact. One of the most famous sequences is called the Fibonacci sequence. The Fibonacci sequence can be found in the branches of trees, arrangements of leaves on a stem, the fruitlets of a pineapple, and much more. So, let's continue. Important vocabulary. Consecutive numbers. What does that mean? It's an increasing or decreasing in order without a gap. So, for example, we have these two that are true, that work. 5, 6, 7, 8. There's no gap in between the numbers, and they're all increasing in the same rate or pattern. Now, if you look at the second example, 14, 12, 10, and 8, they are decreasing down, but they are missing a number, but they're all missing that they all have the same gap. So, because they're going down by even numbers, it still works as a consecutive number because it's consecutive even. So take a look at one that doesn't work. 3, 5, 4 doesn't work because 5 is greater than 4, but it becomes before 4. So therefore, it is not in order. So it is not consecutive. Term. It's another vocabulary that you need to know. Term is any of the numbers in the sequence. So let's take a look at this sequence: 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and it keeps going. So the first term is 5. Why? Because it's the first number in the sequence. Second term, 6. It's the second term in the sequence, so that's why it's the second term. Then the third term, 7. Fourth, 8. Fifth, 9. Now, even though 10 is not written, it is still the sixth term, because if you continue writing it, it will be 10. Let's do a couple of examples, and you can do your own turn after that. If you follow these steps, you're more likely to get it correct. Now, first step, check addition or subtraction. Step 2, check multiplication or division. Step 3, check another operation, whether it's power numbers or squared or cube or anything to that effect. And then step 4, write the rule. Okay, so let's take a look at the example. Some of you may have already figured it out. Now, it's going up, so it's increasing. So therefore, it has to be addition or multiplication. So let's try addition first. First, the hump. So each between those gaps has to be the same rule. So let's try plus 4, because 4 plus 4 is 8. Then we continue, and we realize that is true. So the next thing is write down the numbers, 24 and 28, to write down the rule. Add 4. Now let's find the first term, which is 4. There we go. Third term, what do you think? It's 12. Correct. Okay, example 2. My number is decreasing, so therefore it has to be subtraction or division. So let's try it. So division. 94 divided by something does not really give you 77. So division is not going to work. So let's try subtraction. So this is where guess, check, and revise comes into play. You gotta see, subtract 10, 84, doesn't work. Subtract 15, 89, 79. Oh, it's not 79. It has to be, so put your gaps in there and then take a guess and see what happens. We took a few, and the answer is minus 17. So that means the even numbers that you'll find are 60 and 9. And my rule is minus 9, or minus 17 rather. And then what's the first term? 94. What's the third term in this case? 60. So let's look at example 3. We know it's increasing, so therefore it's either addition or multiplication. So let's add the gaps, and let's try addition first. Plus 8, plus 8, plus 8. Okay, 8 plus 8, 16. So that one correct. That one is correct. So then 8 plus 16 gives me 24. It's not addition. So okay. No big deal. We guessed, we checked, and now we need to revise. So it's not addition. So let's try multiplication. Times 2, yeah. 8 times 2, 16. 32, yeah. Okay, so therefore, that means my missing numbers are going to be 128 and 256, which means my rule is times 2. Now let's try and find these missing terms. Fifth term gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 128. Seventh term, 1, 2, it's not there. No worries, then you got to continue the pattern or the rule. Next one would be 512. Now let's take a look at example 4. We know it's increasing, so once again it has to be addition or multiplication. Let's try add the humps. Let's try plus 1. Plus 1, correct. Plus 1, incorrect. So it's not plus 1. Let's try times 1. 0 times 1 is 0. It doesn't work either. Well, at this point, you have to decide what to do. You can't just give up. You need to figure out another way of doing it. So you know it's not multiplication. So let's go back to addition. So things you have to do. Sometimes you have to add 2 numbers. Sometimes you have to add 3 numbers. Okay, so let's try to add 2 numbers together. 0 and 1 gives me 1. 1 and 1, 2. So I think we figured it out. Add 2 numbers together. So that's correct. So the missing numbers will be 8 and 13, which will give me 21. And then 21 and 13 will give you 34. So the rule is add the previous 2 numbers. Now, let's find the terms. Sixth term, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the sixth term is 5. And the third term will be 1. Okay, it is your turn. So here are your questions. I'm going to give you the answers in about 3 seconds so you can pause it. 3, 2, and 1. Here are the answers. So if you got them correct, great job. Keep going. If you didn't, keep going as well. There's always tomorrow.